Hey, do you need a dose of encouragement? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm Heidi Rue, and this is the Encourage Minute Podcast. Every single Monday, I share a 60-second story of inspiration to encourage your week. And here's today's and the first one of the year, Encourage Minute. Okay, so Cliff Young, he grew up one of 7 children on a 2,000-acre sheep farm in Australia. And he grew up during the Great Depression, so his family, they couldn't afford horses to, round up the sheep. So guess what? Cliff had to do it himself. So that meant he ran a lot. Well, he eventually became a potato farmer, and he was a committed vegetarian too because he loved animals so much. Well, in 1983, at 61 years old, Cliff decided to try and run in the Westfield, Sydney to Melbourne ultramarathon. Say that 3 times fast. It's a 545-mile race. And the day of the race, 61-year-old Cliff showed up in overalls, gumboots, and no dentures because he said they rattled too much when he ran. Well, he definitely did not start out strong. I mean, he trailed behind everyone by a lot. But part of the race was a 6-hour sleep period built in. Well, apparently, either Cliff didn't know this or he just wanted to keep going, but he kept going. For 5 days straight, Cliff just kept running. He won the race by a margin of 10 hours, and the winner of this race would receive $10,000. Well, Cliff didn't even realize that there was prize money. He felt so bad that keeping it, so he ended up splitting it between the other runners, and he took nothing for himself. Cliff's real-life tortoise in the hare story made him a household name, never run before. They even named a race after him. He received a medal, and the young shuffle became this running technique for ultramarathoners. By the way, if you were wondering how fast Cliff was running that race, well, it was a pace of 4 miles per hour, or about a 15-minute mile. Okay, I could do that. And that was your Encourage Minute for today. I love this story so much, or for many reasons. First of all, because my dad, he always taught me the tortoise and the hare story. From the time that I was young. See, my dad, he was an elementary school PE teacher, and so I had him as my PE teacher in school. And we'd always do the mile run, and he would always say, Heidi, remember, slow and steady wins the race. And my classmates, sure enough, would sprint out of the gate, and I'd always be left behind. But by the second lap, I was leading because they were too tired and they had to walk or they just had to stop. And secondly, as we're starting a new year, thinking of new goals and new dreams, it's so easy to get disappointed that we haven't arrived at the extraordinary yet. But that is built in the ordinary. Cliff developed his endurance for years and years when no one was watching, no one was cheering, and there was no prize in sight. But he didn't even realize that in that ordinary, he was becoming extraordinary. I'll have another Encourage Minute for you next week. Happy New Year. And if you know someone that you think would be encouraged by this, please share it. You can subscribe anywhere you can listen to podcasts, and you can also see the video version on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. All the links are in the show notes. So happy New Year. I hope this is the best year ever for you. And I know one thing, I will certainly keep you encouraged and inspired this year.